onto Flagstaff Street, then turn right onto Union Lake Road.
Important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle, so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them.
At the stop sign, turn right onto Union Lake Road.
Responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn left onto Willow Road. Go past this light, then at the next one, turn left. At the light, turn left onto Willow Road.
Hang on 1 second. Indeed can help her hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored
In
job.
2.4 miles, arrive at Willow Road.
We're all obsessed with it, especially when it comes to our internet. Luckily, Xfinity delivers gig speed to more homes than anyone. And not only that, our gig is faster than AT&T's. And with gig speed over Wi-Fi, that means faster speeds all over the house for streaming. Oh my god! And baby, whatever you need speed for, you'll get more. Plus, Xfinity now has speed options up to 3 gigs. That's 3 times faster than AT&T. Now that is fast. We're obsessed with speed. We know Xfinity is too. Get your internet today. Learn about gig Wi-Fi or get started with Xfinity Internet for $20 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement.
In 1 mile, arrive at Willow Road.
Switch today. Requires payment is limited on the stored bank account. It's 11/21/21. Restrictions apply. Your connectivity benefits for sending internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, fees extra, and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Gig-speed Wi-Fi requires gigabit internet and compatible X5 gateway. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Service requires customized installation. Are you an excellent driver with a clean driving record? If so, listen up. Airline Sparking is now hiring shuttle drivers. You are a happy with a great job or looking to make some additional money. Contact Airline Sparking today at airlinesparking.com. That's airlinesparking.com.
Get the latest sports news and inside information about Michigan and Michigan State on the 5-Star Zone with Rico Beard. Download it today on the Odyssey app. We're listening to the best of Snowy and Jansen together on 97.1 The Ticket. Here's something else. They got in an argument. Best friends. It's because Hazel Parker
It's what you do.
Arrive at Willow Road.
He loves Derek Jeter,
Arrived.
you know. So Carlos Correa hopefully will be a Detroit Tiger. But he was on a podcast or an interview on a Spanish-speaking podcast, and he said, he said that Derek, because Correa won his first Gold Glove, and he said Derek Jeter, how many Gold Gloves did he win? 5, I think he won. Derek Jeter deserved 80. And he didn't say anything about it. But there's a little thing called analytics that some people really believe in, some people don't.
Yeah.
So I found this, and I just found it really interesting. Mike Greenberg of ESPN, who does a show called Get Up, he also has a radio show. And he's got his producer, he calls Hembo, who's an analytics geek. I want you to listen to this exchange with Greenberg and Hembo and why Hembo, a geek, absolutely agrees with Carlos Correa.
It is common knowledge amongst anyone who does what I do that Derek Jeter was not only not a good shortstop, Derek Jeter was a bad shortstop. And his 5 Gold Gloves are probably the most fraudulent awards ever given. Like, we're talking about someone who actively hurt his team playing defense, and there is an endless amount of data to back that up. So yes, the answer is yes. It is absolutely a true statement.
He agrees with Carlos Correa. Now, here he goes into some of the numbers of Derek Jeter defensively.
We have ways to evaluate this. We know for sure that Derek Jeter's defense cost the Yankees about 250 runs. He was that bad. That makes him, by that standard of measure, the worst defensive player in Major League history. Didn't prevent them from doing any winning, obviously, and he created like 2,000 runs as a hitter. But it is exceedingly clear that Derek Jeter not only did not deserve 5 Gold Gloves, he did not deserve any Gold Gloves, and he is among the worst defensive players to ever live.
Okay. 248-539-9797. I don't know if we need to break down Derek Jeter, but in this analytics world that we live in, is this a good thing? Because I got in an argument with my friend. He goes, "Come on!" He sent me video of the, that play where he made the playoffs, where he gets, Giambi at the plate, and then the one where he ran into the stands and things like that. I said, "Yeah, but metrics show that he didn't get to balls that, regular shortstops would get to because his range wasn't that good." And I don't know if I would go that far. But do you like analytics?
I think it has its place, but I don't like it to determine if people are using it to solely determine if somebody is good or not, because it takes a lot of context out of what happens actually on whether it's the field or in the arena.
Right. Especially like certain things like in baseball. I love it's not even considered a major thing anymore, but when it first was introduced, like OPS, I think that's a very legitimate statistic.
Or more.
Yeah, I think that stuff makes sense. It's hard to understand. Defensively, it's hard to tell. You don't know where guys are actually. I guess they do the data where guys actually start playing, on the field, like they're shaded left.
Where the ball is hit, how far away they are, if they should have gotten to it.
Right. And that stuff, although it's analytical, it's also subjective to a certain extent as well. It's like hockey stats. Like, of course, I don't understand it. Maybe that's why puck possession time and all that. Some of it I get, others I don't. I don't think it should be a major factor in determining someone's. But they do these analytics. All these teams now have analytic departments. Analytics determines, in football whether you should go for it on 4th down or you don't play with your gut. Well, Dan Campbell does.
He does.
Yeah, but they use analytics too.
I think there's, in talking to Mike McDonald, the new defensive coordinator, obviously coming from Baltimore, Matt Weiss, the quarterback coach, coming from Baltimore. Baltimore is one of those teams that in the NFL uses a lot of analytics. And I asked him the question, how do you use that along with your gut feeling?
Right.
And he said, well, we'll take a look at the film, we'll take a look at the analytics, and we'll make our decision on what we think is from our gut, and then we'll pair that with the analytics and see if they match up. And if they don't, then we'll see, okay, what are we missing? And so they'll use it to either confirm or deny, and start to, use it, putting game plans together, different things like that. But and that's just one example. It's a little bit different than measuring how good or bad a player is.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult at times, especially, like for Jeter. I mean, he at least said, one of the greatest, his offensive stuff, and they still won.
Yeah.
And then there's like the whole intangible. I mean, how do you, to me, when you're evaluating a player, the clutch gene, the data heads don't believe that exists. I mean, of course it exists.
Yeah.
I didn't, and they don't like RBIs. Well, it's just luck. that somebody's on base when you get a hit. So why should you have an RBI?
Because it takes out the context of the pressure
Right.
of looking at somebody on second base
Right.
and what inning is, how many strikes does he have, how many outs,
That stuff isn't
how many
important.
runs do they have to score to
Yes.
win the game, or are they up? I mean, it takes all of those things out of it.
Right, and what bothers me about stuff that is too analytical driven is I've said this before to people. Don't watch the game. Just look at the data after the game. And, evaluate it, whatever. Why watch the game then? All you care about is the numbers.
Well, I mean, but on the flip side, you can't discount the
No.
numbers because the numbers do tell a story.
Yes.
And it's, I think, in terms of, like I mentioned, Mike McDonald, and putting together a game plan and anticipating things, down, distance, position on field, all of those things, you put those into the numbers crunchers, and they'll tell you what to anticipate because we all have tendencies. We all follow different things. But in terms of evaluating, I think the RBI, like that's a perfect example. There's so much context that goes into it. And it's like for Derek Jeter, should he have gotten to some more of those balls? I mean, probably.
Yeah.
But we don't know the context of all of those. Like,
Right.
who was on second?
Yes.
Was there somebody on third?
I mean, basketball, shooting percentage, things like that. Well, how hard was the guy defended? I mean, were they contested? How do you
Right.
determine whether a shot is contested or not? It goes on and on and on.
There's certainly a place for it.
Yes.
Look at who the Lions. The Tigers just signed Rodriguez.
Right.
Okay, so the traditionalists look at his ERA,
Right.
and are a little bit alarmed.
Right.
The sabermetric people say no, there's good signs here, and that it's actually he's a better pitcher than that ERA.
The projected ERA they're looking at.
So, but do they go do analytics? Because I just don't get into analytics.
I know.
And I lean towards the traditional style, and call me a dinosaur or all that if you want. But do analytics go as deep as, like, let's say, for example, Xander Bogaerts is considered a good defensive shortstop, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But not great. Isn't that kind of the... Yeah.
Yes.
He's good. He's above average, but he's not the upper echelon. You have the potentially best defensive shortstop available in free agency. So if the Tigers don't land a shortstop, Rodriguez's ERA and analytics are going to be far different than they were under Bogaerts. But if they get Correa, they could be better. Right. Like, does it go that deep? You see what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly.
Well, wait, we get in there?
Well, you can look at baseballreference.com and look at every player's defensive metrics, and it's like, what is it? This is a different language.
Determined by who's around you, too.
Yes.
I mean, the Tigers, if they don't land, they're going to be wrong. Under average at shortstop, they can get a good one.
Right. 97-1 the ticket.
Tomorrow at 7, the Detroit Pistons face the Golden State Warriors at Little Caesars Arena. 97.1 The Ticket's Mojo broadcasts live starting at 6. Get your tickets for every home game at Pistons.com. Details at 97.1theticket.com. WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by Tom C Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
A nice bounce back for the Pistons, fighting to the very end against the Pacers in downtown Detroit, earning a 97-89 victory behind huge buckets from Jeremy Grant, Corey Joseph, and Cade Cunningham. And Coach Dwayne Casey seeing the results of what he's been trying to preach.
Continue to compete, and that's what you have to do in this league to be successful. And that's the hardest thing for young players to do, and not get down in the last play and miss shot or whatever happens. And we're learning that, and that's part of the restore, rebuild personality that we have right now.
19 points for Grant, Cade with 16, and Joseph putting up 18 off the bench. The Spartans also victorious on the hardwood, beating Butler on the road 73-52. A career-high 19 for Gabe Brown, including 4 triples. MSU is now 2-1. Oakland beating Toledo 80-59. Detroit Mercy falls to 0-3 after losing to Mississippi State 77-64. To football, Central knocking off Ball State on the road. There's that man again. Lou Nichols, another 200-plus yard game with 3 touchdowns as the Chippewas win 37-17. Michigan State football reportedly offering head coach Mel Tucker a massive 10-year, $95 million deal to keep him in East Lansing, an agreement could come as soon as today. Jared Goff sitting out Lions practice with oblique soreness. Tim Boyle getting the first team reps. Goff says he doesn't know if he'll be able to start in Cleveland. And former Tiger Justin Verlander stays in Houston for at least one more year. A $25 million deal reportedly for 2022 with a player option after Tommy John surgery sidelined him for a year. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie